Welcome fellow humans and bienvenidos a un video bilingüe. I'm going to be switching back and forth, so if you don't speak Spanish o no hablas inglés, pues esto va a ser un poquito confuso. If, however, you do speak English and Spanish, try to keep up. El propósito de este video es compartir con ustedes un poquito sobre mi primera colección bilingüe. Basically, I wanted to do a true bilingual collection where I offer 20 pieces in English, 20 piezas en español, y simplemente exploro todas las cosas que se me ocurren. Son 3 cuentos cortos, son varios ensayos y varios poemas en cada lado, excepto, o sea, lo que tienes que tomar en cuenta is that when you go from English to Spanish, it's not that it's the same poem in a different language, es más que nada que if there's 3 poems in English, hay 3 poemas en español. Y así es como funciona esto. Siendo bilingüe, and speaking 2 languages, and writing primarily in English, mi vista no es 2020. My vision is not 2020. It is 2020. Because I see everything in 2 languages. It's not that I'm saying I'm super superior. It's saying that both motors are running boom, a la misma vez. Y es un poquito de mente aquí adentro, pero pues es divertido y yo la paso bien. Pero quería demostrar that I have a lot of range. Que puedo cambiar de un lenguaje a otro and it won't hurt the flow of a book. Que en inglés tengo una mente and in Spanish I have another mind. Other different, other interests, other tones, I think would be a good way to say it. I think I am more non-fiction en español y mucho más fantasioso in English. And that's just the way that I'm wired. I'm trying to branch more into cosas que no son ficción in inglés and more fantasy en español. So that I can keep pushing myself, because all this is me pushing myself. This collection does include, let's count it off. The sequence is, it starts short stories in English, essays in English, poetry in English. A la mitad there's a poem which is bilingüe. Then poemas, ensayos y cuentos cortos. So basically you see like there's an arc de un lenguaje a otro. The short stories are The Puzzling Pandora Predicament, which is a short story about seeing that wishful thinking isn't a bad thing and that sometimes wishes do come true. Journeyman is one of my favorite stories that I've written, honestly, and I don't say that to push this book. A lot of people are turned by the fact que este libro es bilingüe. It is what it is. Pero Journeyman is a story where Mark S. Ward, whose name comes from Mark S. Thunder Ward, come from my 3 favorite boxers. Ward from Mickey Ward, Irish Mickey Ward, tough guy, could take a punch. He would take 5 punches to give 1 punch. Really humble guy, really nice. Thunder comes from Arturo Thunder Gatti. Gatti and Ward had one of the most scintillating trilogy fights that you'll ever see in the sport of boxing, but their first fight is just the stuff of legend. Their round 9, I don't know how any of those guys were still standing by the end of it. It is brutal, but it does showcase why I love the sport, because no matter what, they were true sportsmen, and that means a lot to see. And Mark S. is from Juan Manuel Marquez, which is my favorite boxer. He is from Mexico. Me being Puerto Rican, a lot of Puerto Rican people might have issue with that, but it's my favorite boxer to have. It's not that I don't like Tito. I love Tito. But by the way, neither Trinidad nor Cotto are the best Puerto Rican boxers. I think that goes to Wilfredo Gomez or Wilfredo Benitez. Benitez and Trinidad are a bit tight, and I think they're all better than Cotto, although Cotto is also In his prime, he was a really good fighter. And then he met Manny Pacquiao, and I'll start talking about boxing. As you can see, I'm a lover of boxing. Even though I'm not watching it that much these days because I don't have HBO, and I'm not watching it on YouTube. I don't know why. It's something I have to catch up on. Third short story is Celestiers, which is every rain cloud comes from fairies. And it's the explanation, the fantastical explanation of what happens there in the future and the challenges they face to keep nurturing the world. We're doing a great job covering it in cement and smog. So the essays, the first one is An Obsession with Inches, which is my take on the obsession of inches depending on the gender. When it comes to men, think of inches in terms of men. It's probably going to be below the waist. When you think of inches when it comes to women, it's probably going to be the waist and certain other things. And it's the obsession that we have in our bodies. Second essay is some small stuff should be sweated, because I do think that small changes can make a positive impact in the environment. And you don't have to be like a superhero, but you do have to want to make change. Third one is Waves are our support group. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Fourth one is We Are Living in 1984, which is kind of creepy with all the things that are happening, but that's just me. Fifth one is What Does Faith Feel Like? It's my evaluation of faith and personal faith of that. Number 6 is one that I'm just amazed it hasn't gotten me, into trouble yet. It's the pejorative equivalent of Voldemort. I have issues with the use of the N-word and people saying the N-word. And that's an essay talking about the N-word. I don't use the word because people are super sensitive to that word. But the essay does use the word. And remarks on the use of the word and treating it as the word. And trying to shed light on language versus behavior, let's say. Because some people might never say the N-word. They would never say that, but they would treat people like the N-word. So, and the last essay is The Power of Contact. To go quickly with the selection of poetry, it is The Cup, which is kind of steamy. Dilema e Nada, which is a weird poem that I wrote a long time ago. The Forget-Me-Not. The Marquis de Sade, which is actually one of the few things that has won me a prize in college. It won me first place. Fifth one is Ode to the Stock Photo Girl. When you work in advertising, you see a lot of stock photography, and I just went on a cheeky little trip. Rant for Me and Stop a Dealing are two slam poetries that I did. Smoke is another kind of steamy one. Path with a Y is me talking about motivation, and Armor is just another poem. In the middle of this collection, hay un poema bilingüe. It starts in English and then goes to Spanish. Y vas viendo la transición from one language to the other and how we, bilingual people, are wired that way. Estoy consciente que solamente conozco 2 lenguajes. Hay algunas personas, especialmente de Europa, que dicen, oh, that's so impressive, you know 2 languages. I know 5 or 6 or 7, and I'm super happy for them, and I would love to see them go for a poem in 5 languages. Since I only speak 2 lenguajes, pues solamente hice un poema en 2 lenguajes. I take this tone because I've heard a lot of people get flack for it. Y me da mucha gracia. So, can't we just enjoy the read? Tomando eso en cuenta, la segunda mitad del libro empieza con poemas para que sea como un espejo del inglés. Y los poemas son Borracho con Confusión, Claridad, Cordillera Española, que la escribí la vez que fui a España, Madre Mía, es para mi madre, Mi Cultivo, que es un poema que me gusta mucho, que nunca me ganó premios y no entiendo por qué, mano, me gusta y le tengo mucho cariño y mucho aprecio. Y si les interesa que lo lea, déjenme un comentario abajo y yo hago un video específicamente de ese. Pero me lo tienen que pedir. What drama. Después de ese, reflexión por una flor, que lo escribí cuando me enteré de la dinámica de una maga, de la flor maga, que toda su vida está mirando hacia el suelo y cuando cae al piso cae mirándose al cielo. El penúltimo es revelación y el último es segunda llamada. En los ensayos, mi crítica del estado actual de Puerto Rico, en Puerto Rico salsa, Puerto Rico reggaetón, pena que el ay bendito es para la gente y no la isla, enero en la mañana, diciembre en la noche, un mejor golpe de pecho, hablando de las personas que son súper fervientes y tienen mucha fe, pero sus actitudes y cómo se comportan no reflejan lo mismo. La creatividad no discrimina, una invitación a las personas a ser más creativos en su vida. Devolviéndote la creatividad como una secuela a ese ensayo, y un mundo de sueños. Y los cuentos cortos son cambio de carril, que si alguna vez has estado en un tapón en Puerto Rico, sabes lo delicioso que es coger un tapón en Puerto Rico. Yo sé que no es en Bogotá, yo sé que no es en México, yo estoy consciente de esto. Pero no perdamos de perspectiva que no es agradable. Y es el relato de un chico que se entera de una noticia muy, muy negativa mientras está en un tapón. Y la dinámica que conlleva eso. Entre líneas es el cuento de un hombre deambulante que toca guitarra en las calles, que un día amanece sin cuerdas, se le rompen las cuerdas de su guitarra y cómo se le remedian. Y por último, el cuento corto Dos azúcares y un secreto es un preámbulo a una serie que voy a hacer en español sobre hadas en el Viejo San Juan, que va a salir el año que viene. So I could read a lot of this, but since it's bilingual, I don't wanna abuse our time. So if there's anything in English that sounds interesting that you would like me to read, be it poetry or essays or the short stories, let me know. Y lo mismo va en español. Si escuchaste alguno de estos títulos que te pica la curiosidad, déjame saber y yo con mucho gusto lo leo. Así que until next time, les deseo lo mejor. Enseño el libro una vez más. And for now, peace, love, and maki rolls.